It's past midnight. There is a knock at the door. You peek outside and see a pale-faced child with a soft voice asking to come in. At first, it looks like a harmless situation. A child wandering alone at night usually means something is wrong. I mean, maybe they're lost, maybe their parents are out searching. Every part of you wants to open the door. But then you notice something unusual. The child doesn't shuffle nervously or glance around, like scared kids do. Instead, they stand completely still, their head slightly lowered. When they finally look up, their eyes aren't normal. They're nothing but black, stretching from lid to lid. In that moment, every instinct inside you says, don't open the door. But you might be curious to know who they actually are? And what happens if you let them in? If you're into creepy legends like this, hit subscribe because we walk you through the darkest stories you've ever heard. All right, this is the legend of the black-eyed children, one of the strangest and most feared stories in modern folklore. So what actually makes them different? The first shock is their appearance. From a distance, they look like ordinary kids. Up close, those unnatural eyes shatter the illusion. That tiny detail flips sympathy into dread, but the way they act is just as unsettling. Witnesses describe them as between 6 and 16, frozen in a state of endless childhood. They neither age nor change, and the longer you interact, the more it feels like something ancient is staring back through that young face. That's because they linger in the uncanny middle ground. Human enough to walk up to your house, yet alien enough to make your instincts scream when you meet their gaze. You want to help, but every bone in your body says run. The behavior of black-eyed children follows a pattern, as if rehearsed. It begins with a polite knock. Then comes the calm request. Can we come in? Can we use your phone? Can you give us a ride? They never force their way in. They always wait, because they need an invitation. That single rule makes encounters terrifying. What happens depends entirely on your choice. The requests are urgent but vague. They claim they're lost or need to call their parents, but they never share names, addresses, or details that add up. It feels less like children seeking help, and more like bait in a trap. Even their voices raise suspicion. Too formal, too calm, as if an adult is trying to act like a child. Add those black eyes, and the feeling shifts from strange to terrifying. That's why adults who've encountered them often describe a wave of dread the moment they make eye contact. Some feel nauseous or dizzy. Others say their bodies went cold, as if every instinct was screaming that danger was standing right in front of them. And the pattern doesn't stop at the door. Some claim the children know personal details, things no stranger should know. Imagine opening your door only to hear a child whisper secrets about your life. It's not always a lone child either. Sometimes they arrive in pairs, even small groups. That raises the most chilling question of all. Are they part of a larger collective, or is something sending them out in teams? Because 2 or 3 black-eyed kids at your door is far more terrifying than one. And they don't give up easily. People claim to encounter the same children over weeks or months with the same knock, request, and stare. It's not a random chance, it feels like a mission. The effect on people who meet them is real. Nightmares, anxiety, and paranoia are some issues they experience. And these symptoms are not only for a night, but they last for months or years. These encounters don't fade like a scary story. They stick, warping a person's sense of safety inside their own home. These encounters aren't limited to one place. Reports stretch across North America, Europe, Asia, and even remote villages. That consistency forces 2 possibilities. Either this is one phenomenon moving across borders, or it taps into a universal fear buried deep in human nature. And here's the part that makes it even creepier. Technology refuses to work when they're around. Cameras glitch, phones lose signal, and recorders cut out. Witnesses end up with blurred photos or corrupted files instead of proof. Are these kids naturally electromagnetic, or do they somehow block evidence on purpose? No one knows. Since the early 2000s, stories about them have flooded forums, paranormal blogs, and social media. They've gone from isolated whispers to a full-blown internet legend. It's an old-style horror story, but the internet gave it new life. Explanations are all over the map. Some say they're demons wearing the mask of innocence. Others claim they're alien human. Hybrids. Some connect them to restless spirits of children who died violently. None of these theories explain everything, but maybe that's what keeps the legend alive. There's no clear answer. Others reach further, from government experiments to occult rituals. Even theories mixing. Supernatural possession with human trafficking or genetic manipulation. No evidence supports these claims, but the speculation alone keeps the fear alive. It's no surprise that horror culture picked up the legend. Books, movies, and online communities turned them into icons of corrupted innocence. What makes them effective in storytelling is exactly what makes them terrifying in life. The corruption of childhood itself. The very image of purity twisted into something predatory. The heart of the legend is their disguise. They look helpless, vulnerable, and lost, the kind of child you're hardwired to protect. That instinct to help is what they exploit. They don't ask for kindness. They weaponize it. That's why their story hits so hard. It forces us to question trust, compassion, and appearances. It suggests that even the purest human impulse can be turned against us. And still, the central mystery remains unanswered. What happens if you say yes? Few, if any, stories describe someone letting them in. Most people refuse, slam the door, drive away. The children vanish, leaving only dread behind. Maybe that's why the legend endures. Because the scariest part is the unknown. The black-eyed children are predators dressed as victims. They've become a warning wrapped in a nightmare, a reminder that evil can wear the face of innocence, and it may one day knock at your door. The question is, when that knock comes, will you answer? Drop your answer in the comments, and if you love dark folklore and horror legends, make sure you subscribe. Because next time, we're covering a story even more disturbing.